So first up, we have Claire, who's here, who's an OT manager in North Dublin, and her Pacha Kucha has been produced alongside with and in co-production with people in recovery and their families. So thank you. Claire.
Okay, here goes nothing, right? My first time. Right. Okay, I'm Claire, and I'm from Dublin, North City and County, also CHO9. I got the short straw. We have local recovery groups. We have a recovery hub in the North City. We have a service user forum, and we have recently established an overarching steering group. And there's broad representation in all of those, the service user, family members and staff. But on the steering group, we've extended that to include the mental health engagement lead, our colleagues in child and adolescent, and the recovery college rep, and the ARI leads. I'm sticking to the time. So we got the funding, which we were really excited and delighted to get. But it meant that we had to go back to basics, and we just had another check-in, if you like. So we had a consultation morning, a focus group, and just to ensure that the plan still met the current needs of the service users and family members, and it was what we had set out to do in the first place. Clarity, yay! We included as many people as possible to just get a diverse range of views and opinions. And by goodness, we got a diverse range of views and opinions. But we hope that that then is reflected in a diverse and co-produced recovery education plan. The funding was really welcome, but I like a lot of things, and you referred to it earlier, Frank. It's not everything, but it is finite as well. So we just wanted to ensure that the plan, to ensure sustainability, real service reform, and meaningful change, we wanted to make sure that the plan stood the test of time. One for all and all for one. I had the privilege of doing some training with partners in transformation, like a community activist group with service users and family members, and it was a really positive, wonderful learning experience for us all. But the main outcome was the big shift from them and us to we, and it was very significant. Co-production. We have an appetite for co-production, which is really wonderful. And so we soon recognised that we needed to include that in our service plan. And we heard that very loud and clear, the need for that to be in the plan. A vote of confidence, yay! Reassurance, and we all like to be reassured. And we were reassured that we were heading in the right direction in our own recovery plans and initiatives within our area. And that the plan then is a direct result of feedback that we heard, we listened, and we've acted. And then onto our own recovery journey in our own CHO. We have super recovery principal trainers, and I think Kelly's here with us today. And so we have about 4 or 5 teams in the area, and they've identified a need to have opportunity to build their confidence and to support each other in rolling out the training. Teamwork. The National Recovery Framework has really helped embed the recovery agenda into the management team agenda and into the service plans, which we hope will affect real change locally. Stuck to my time. Hope. You've heard me mention the word a few times. And we hope that there's going to be not just more voices, but louder voices. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to translate our vision of this plan into reality. And as one of the service users who was involved in the plan, it looks like it's got a hope, choice, and lots of opportunities. But nothing is without its challenges. And the main challenge we have is we need you, we need participants. And it's an ongoing challenge, which many of you may acknowledge, is to increase the numbers of service users, family members and carers that were involved, and to avoid this over-reliance on the same people, which is leading to fatigue and burnout. And that leads us to fatigue. And somebody, Franco's already mentioned it, and in our group earlier this morning, we talked recovery fatigue. That idea of here we go again. Just trying to be creative about how we present and develop recovery can lead to fatigue and getting tired of the same words. Openness and trust. We talked a little bit about that this morning in our conversation cafes. And the service is sometimes perhaps not as embracing of the recovery principles as we'd like. So I guess it's all our job to foster that openness and trust by sharing our own lived experiences, our professional perspectives and narratives. Respect. I can't sing, so I'm not going to be bursting into Aretha Franklin, you'll be assured. But the point of this slide was really inspired by service users, family members and carers who remind us to respect their time and value their time, their lived experience and their expertise. Mind the gap. One of the gaps that appeared when we first started looking at this plan and putting it together was the need to, if you like, support and foster more peer-led initiatives. And where better to start than including a peer educator lead in our plan. We have the limitations of the HSE infrastructure. One of the things that kept coming up again and again over the years, and certainly when putting the plan together, was a need for a recovery website, but we're considerably challenged by just the system. Not that we're losing hope, and we'll try to do our best with that challenge. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Just one of the gaps that we talked about in our preparing for the plan was that gap between the clinical team's action, people have referred to it this morning, their actual day-to-day experience working in a slow-moving system and at the same time simultaneously trying to work in a meaningful way with recovery principles. And last but by no means least, there is a bit of a disconnect, we acknowledge, between the national expectations and the local ability to deliver change management and at such a rapid pace. But please note, there is a bridge in the gap. And we're working on the bridge and not widening the gap. Thank you.